so Guru Rana Mendra Lagani Adaya Me Sanje Chedan Soje Chanju Dani Soje Dagi Nanye Jo Sanje Chedan Chanon Lo Chanju Badu Dan Chijin Jive Sonan Je Androla Benje Sanje Ruwa Asanje Chedan Soje Chanon Lo Chanju Badu Dan Jasa Dagi Chijin Jive Sonan Je Androla Benje Sanje Ruwa Nimo Baye, Negusa Wajaba, Yevete, and the Samba, Judian, the Sanja, some the Juven, and the Rotanyamacha, Namokaye, Kadan, Jinga, Drobunda, Nami, Canon, and Drova, Kunjitan, Jizaba, Tanjaka, Dagwich, and all. All are so Tare Tagi, and the Tanjoji Danza Neji, Tobio, Koya Pinzola Majawa. Margasam Jatam, Koyan and Dunga Sunji, Yamtaba dinner. Nido Koya. Dungalan drive chili, Tojalana Mebayanda, Zoe Sanjay Combatum, Chinaja Tobacha. Tido Ani Tibachimbi, Sanyam, and Kunombi, Kunji Rambana, Leversa of the Samparo show.
So now think by setting your motivation properly, by thinking that now I've achieved a human existence which is endowed with freedom to practice and the capability to practice. And at this time, I shouldn't be attached to things, worldly things, but instead I should think that just as I am trapped in samsaric existence, there are numberless other sentients who have been my mothers, and they are all tormented by the three kinds of suffering and cycle aimlessly in samsara. In order to free them from that as quickly as possible, I must myself actualize true perfect awakening of complete Buddhahood. And to do that, I'm now going to listen to this instruction on the Mahayana Dharma.
Oh yeah, Tangu Kasore, Musu Tadi Samko, you are a Dakasan Kam Jonjiki, Ani. Or come Jonjek Tashaya della Ani Tosanguni, Trojita, Tishini, Mecheta, Richina Lujango, Tato Sanja Nimbo Jan, say Gala, Anangaranji Tuju Yugi, I'm come Devarashibi, Nimbo, say Gala, Ani Tishaki Simki Chiniti, or Simbari, come Devarashibi, Nimbo said.
So now where we've arrived at the text is the methods by which we are able to purify the element, which is the essence of the Tathagata Garbha, and that's explained in the verse that we had, where it says that because, or the means by which the element of the Tathagata Garbha is purified is explained in the verse above, where it says, because the Buddha bodies are emanated out, because suchness is indivisible, and because they possess the lineage, all living beings, all embodied beings always possess the essence of the Buddha. So then, the reasons why that element of the Tathagata God can be identified are listed in that verse, such that the body of the complete Buddha emanates. Here, that's referring specifically to the Dharmakaya of the Buddha emanating its activities or its actions towards sentient beings.
Oh yeah, 아니 예매탕 시 처음 매배 상제 그 취니 상제랑시 상제 그 심 아랑신지 타바 상제 그 심당 말한지 주제 그 심이오테 아니 아랑신지 나바 타바 예매바 대신 대신 된다위 취니니오데 아랑신지 나바 타바라 예매바 인장 지신이니 예매치당 예매치 랑게 랑신의 팀에 나블레바 마슈바 아니 심춘이랑 경우 아니 랑신지 팀에 나바 타발라 예매바 인장 지신이니 매치당 지신이 매치당 스제.
So then the next line there of second line of verse 27 says, because the suchness is indivisible, that refers to that the suchness, which is the purity of our minds, of sentient beings' minds, the suchness of the Buddha's mind, the natural purity of the Buddha's mind, the nature of nature is indistinguishable. So therefore, from the point of view of that nature, that in that natural purity, being by its nature identical, indivisible, indistinguishable between that of the natural purity of a sentient being's mind and a Buddha's mind. Therefore, it's said to be suchness is said to be indivisible.
리주나 리장군 시간아 릭세리 다 랑싱네리레 셴 아니 가르잖아 말한지 셈기 취념 셈기 띵도 아니 사매 셈기 사변 시간아 아니 사바메비 최 기run기 뉴와데 아니 뒤저거 꾸지롱 어디 이렇게 열치리 어디 이렇게 대유치나 다수 추구 칠레 아니 알아가라 뒤지기라 추루이 봐 셈쟁기 좀 셈당 아니 산제 그 팀의 그 셈쟁을 알아신지 답병 오랑 오이메 봐 셈기 취념 셈딘도 아니 사범비 취주run기 아니 이르게 봐 군전 티치나 아니 셈쟁 탐제 탈을 아니 산제지 gur 산제지 토바 주라래 시그라 이나 리치나 론쟁군 따도 대신이 뭐제.
So then the last line there, or the last two lines says, because it possesses possessing the lineage, all embodied beings always possess the essence of Buddhahood. This is referring then to the naturally abiding lineage that exists within the continuums of sentient beings, which entails that, which enables, which is a quality which allows for the entrance of the divine activities of Buddhahood to enter into the sentient beings' minds, and then it's also has the property of a kind of power or ability such that the basis of the sentient being can be transformed into the Dharmakaya. Those two qualities. So it's also designated as the uncontaminated seed, which is the power within a sentient being's mind that enables it to be transformed into a state of Dharmakaya.
Oh yeah, 대기다 감대와시비 인보대 독성을 수원이란 다트니 대기 정말 랑딩게 셈기 가서 심지 취니기 트만 종아 종주 대셔바텔라 되네 다 된다지 심지랑시 여사와 세대 심지랑시라 트멜레바 마슈바 심지 트만 장나 자루 임바디 안에 나샤 넘버 지유권에 된 거야.
So therefore, this quality of sentient beings' minds, which makes them suitable to be purified of the adventitious defilements, that's also referred to as the natural luminosity of the mind, and that is then, if the methods are applied to it, then it's such that it can be purified of the adventitious defilements and transformed. And then this is explained, or proven, I should say, by means of 10 different reasons that are set forth. So to explain those 10 reasons, first we simply enumerate them, and by understanding the basic nature of these 10, then gradually we go through and explain them individually so as to understand them in more detail.
아니 티신이 로마 특함도 와르시비 인부스미요와 산제기 시추가 출来주롱당 아니 오예메 가서레 티신시와 그 산제기 심지 천이라 라신다바 오예메 바당 오르 숨보데 땅 오유 콩스도 그아래 정말 장사기 시티 이러와 정말 장사기 시 심지 천이데 오유 콩스도 그아래
심기 장차기 시
정말 장자기 심지 천이 디체 오예메 바기 출래 주롱디체 아르디체 오테세디 다 오유
So then the three qualities of the lineage that was given up above are the nature, the general nature of the sentient beings, or describe the general nature of the sentient beings' minds such that they are suitable to be transformed. And these are given up above. We mentioned them where the first of these is that they have the ability for the divine activities of the Buddhas to enter into the mind, into the minds.
The
second reason being also that suchness is indivisible, which we mentioned above. And it's Sumba. And then the third is the possession of the lineage, those three which were given in the verse that we just read.
아니 정말 장대 샘다 샘이기 천이고 오테 아니 정말 장대 타르 산제 그 구주run이 바데 담보 정말 장의 오 정말 장이 타 주run고 산제 그 구주run고 오 임바데 가르레서나 아니 다진 그 존재 심보티 디시시비 틀레 주run 샘지 천이니 오데라 오예 매바랑신 타밤 매바 아니 라시진 가서 견주기 일단 댐바 인당 아니 코 가서래 뒤제고 구주로 레스전에 독슬한 거 아니.
So therefore this nature of the nature of the
산제고 구주는 거는 뭐래 전에 독슬해.
So the duchegi
산 뒤제 말하지 산제고 구주로잖아요. 뒤제잖아요. 초지가 저거래.
So therefore then these three properties establish that a person beings are suitable to be transformed into Buddhas. They have within mind, the nature of the mind, and the mind itself has the quality of having the power to accept or to have to be receptive of the divine activities of a Buddha. And then also the suchness of a sentient being's mind is indivisible from the suchness of a Buddha's mind, as mentioned. And then also that the sentient beings possessing the lineage or the essence of the Tathagata means that they're suitable to be transformed into the body of a Buddha.
我提前，他提前了，我的都听起一个了，俺的有些这个，我有些这个，他身为去年的什么装些，就看的这些呢，俺的特别是被吃了没被写了没瓦汤，俺的东把你都被写了汤。 我的安尼，他去切把铁塔去，他去切把铁塔去，他去切把铁塔去，安尼什么样个自己什么铁塔去，没完了说话铁塔就铁塔去，安尼什么就他妈想起来谁个啦？就切把的，前面他被写了的，等着你在来说嘛，啊，去他就把去被切了没让你们就切了没话汤。 当把你都被写了当，把完之后顶一阵就不顶一阵家长给女娃啦，说话太大给来但呢，啊你怎么就给他妈的讲个嘞？讲就给觉得他没话了说话太大的，他就我那么听过了吧？这个贴切，觉得写给我的，
顶一阵，
把完之后了，所以顶一阵，但顶一阵听得去。
Well, so then in terms of the cause, that we've briefly described the nature, and in terms of the cause, it's explained that there are sort of three meanings or three meanings here, which refer to the aspirations, that sentient beings' aspiration to enter into the Mahayana teachings. Then also the achievement of the wisdom which realizes emptiness, and then also the various forms of meditative concentration that are cultivated by bodhisattvas. So those function as causes to purify the element of the adventitious defilements.
아니 띵이 나 탑다 시럽 대다기 아니 치마데 장발래 제부 가르쳐 그래서나 제부 세가라 아니 장와탐비 파도를 침바다 따바탐비 파도를 침바세 장대 따다시 빵바기 아니 치고지 토야 되라 제비 쳐바데 셔고하래 제비 쳐바 뭐주 시라와 주 티바치비 쳐라 메비 너와당 시럽당 대다기 심지트마 장발라 때네 대부가를 촉촉고 가래 했으나 안에 장대 따다시 바로도 침박이 추구도 토바샤바 인자데 대셔고라 다 제위 쳐바데 셔 다데 오라마 예고 통고라 나한테나 뭐마 고치면 와데 접저로데 제자저고라.
So then in terms of the result is explained such that by means of the of purity and so forth, which will be explained then the element is purified, and the result arises from that. So through that purification of the element, by means of the aspiration to engage in the practice of the Mahayana practices, by the admiration for the Mahayana Dharma, by meditation on developing the wisdom of emptiness, and then all of the different factors of the method side of the path. That serves to purify the element and produce the results.
간지를 쓰고 그래서 지당 산재지 틀에 생각돼 가르스는 개와이나 산재그 틀에 입에 찹쓰고 그래. 와 개와지이나 랑의 다진도 지 이시추고 그 다진 채워지면 개와디 개 유라 이시추고 그 다진지 이직한지 고고 그래. 당무성 알아서 이시추고 다진 채워지 시고 그래 마도 랑의 다진도 지 아니 이시추고래 이시추고 랑의 다진도 이시추고 다진 채워래 중에 남가르지 연단지라 이시추고 틀에 쓰고 그래.
So then the fourth property here is described as action, and that refers to the ability of the divine activities of the Dharmakaya, of the Gnosis Dharmakaya, to actualize within or to induce sentient beings to in virtuous kinds of behavior. Any kind of virtue, whatever it is that sentient beings produce, is understood as being the product of the Dharmakaya. Here it's referring not such that the Dharmakaya actually exists within sentient beings, rather that the Dharmakaya functions as a kind of governing condition which enables sentient beings to produce or to engage in virtue.
이시추그 틀렌 주발라 때네 아니 가르에서는 누군기 님이 돈에 쪼가지 해다 아니 고람기 파연 돈에 가서래 아니 고람 발라 쪼가지 해라 냠술련데 지해라 소와기 다 레스 쳐와 리바레
냠술련 바카리
가세 이시추그 틀레 초발라 때네 아니 누군기 님이 돈에 하고서 두된당 군중대마 님이 세가라 유군중을 때는 대우 동아 춘이 아니 나라도 동아 빠도 매봐요 안녕하지 독성 거와 다 유군중 대우 동아 메데나 아니 유군중 방고와 인장 아니 군중 봉제지 람 아니 가르에서나 다명 없음도 배 람대당 람대도 관발라 때네 아니 대부 누군 방배 방바 tendunyaya yung tokuyowa yinzang wote yinzang dugun di nyemi tohne gyowa jaya jidang gwalam ji panyan tohne ane tenyamsu lenpa la zhowa jaya di ane sanje ki chigu tile chowa la tene chungwa yinzang chigu tile chowa ki lesu chawa di da di yashun jire.
So we can say then that any kind of practice of the path is an outflow of the emanations of the divine activities which are emanating from the Dharmakaya. What this refers to is that any kind of, from the very beginning, developing some kind of disgust towards samsara. That is, and understanding then the relationship between the origin of suffering and suffering. That is, that the cause of suffering gives rise to the result, which is suffering. That kind of disgust, from that then one looks for some kind of freedom from that situation of being suffering. Therefore, one seeks for cessation, and in order to achieve that cessation, one has to engage in the practice of the path, all of the different factors of the path. And by practicing the path, then one eliminates and gets rid of the causes and suffering and achieve cessation. So that whole process then is the result of sentient beings being susceptible to the introduction of the divine activities of the Buddha, which are emanated out from the Dharmakaya.
어느 된주지 개발라 아니 규연된당 제위연된라서와 아니 림바시도 담벌 쳐와 그러와 규연된 대도가 감정화 체바 그 규연된 대다당 감정화 장화 체바 아니 제위연된 대다른 바시도 담바디 아니 담배 체바디 말이
담배 개발 라
말이 담바스나 아니 가사디 콜라 대화시비 인보텔라 가래 담바레스나 아니 감지 트만 좋아하는 제발기 규연대 명화라서 왔다 템바 명화라서 왔다기 감기 트만 장발라 때네 아니 더우연대 So
possession, the fifth quality here, possession, that refers to the fact that by having possession of the four qualities which function as causes, that is the admiration and so forth, admiration for the Mahayana Dharma and so forth, then when comes to possess the qualities of the result, which are the various when comes to possess the good qualities of the result.
아니 신도 마다바다 아니 답이 내가다 신도 내가 그 고름나 왜왜 대신이 권한라 아니 대대 여바 인장 주바 세가래 땡지 가사도 주라 주바 주디 담바 신도 마다비 내가지 답이 내가지 아니 신도 답이 내가 도스 여바 인장 주비 남바 다들 주비 주바 세테 바래 Juba sena then tela mata binagapchik then tela wa chisin tela mata binagapchik che ani ta binagapchik che 신도 nagapjine 신도 namda ke naga sum juba insan 대신이 되라
대신 님보 주바요
대신치 내가 감대와 시비 님보 되라 다 감대와 시비 님보 되라 대신이 되라라나야 말에 와 대신이 되라 마다비 내가지 답이 내가지 아니 신도 내 답이 내가지 그 넘버 숨 주버 좋아 근데 대신이 디 유래 대비 땡되라 아니 넘버 숨 주기도 와 마다 비내갑지 다 비내갑지 아니 신도 다 비내갑지
이 주파기 고든 야보 시마손디
땡라 간사되라 신도 땡테라 아니 가서 땡테라 수고래 땡테라 마다 비내갑수 내갑지 체 저 아니 답이 내가지 자신도 내가지 림바 숨 주바 인자 림바 숨 좋아 너 대인자 주비 내가세 대인바 주비
So then here the sixth quality is referring to its function, and here's referring to that the suchness functions within a person during the three different states or phases of the person in the impure state, the somewhat pure state, and then the person in the completely pure state, that it's functional in all three of those states.
도르시바 님보 아무 지시시바 코랑기 오라 예와 민자와 매장 아니 내가 지고네 아니 예와 샤고와 내가 지고네 아니 오 예와 샤고에 저와 내가 정말 다마다 고네 예와 샤고와 인장 오라 예와 매장 내가 지고네 예와 샤고와 인장 내가 타대바 잠마도 오라 예와 매바 인장 내가 지와 쓰고 말
대신이 야
대신이 되라
대신 제비님보
So
therefore then in terms of the seventh topic here, it's referring which refers to the occasion or the occasion or the situation. This is referring to that suchness or the Tathagata Garbha, the essence of the Tathagata, exists throughout all of the occasions of the impure state of an ordinary sentient being, the somewhat purified state of an Arya, and in the extremely pure state of a Buddha. that there's no differentiation in its existing within those three states. There's no differentiation.
아니 라신네 디신시비 디신시제바만 공고 아니 가설에 팀에 답이 신이 대동공고 증이 아니 내가 가사 내가 기왕제 아니 가사 소소라 예수 좋아 봐 내가 가사 소소라 다진던다 오대지 내가 가사 소소라 예수 좋아 봐 신도 마다비 내가 당 답이 내가 당 아니 가설에 신도 남다게 내가 수 예수 좋아 당신 증이 내가 타대도 예수 좋아 근데 와서도
그루제스로 동배차
디신난지 동배차 디신이 들어와 동바디 감대와 시빈님범 디신이 sem쟁컴을 자주 잡아
So then this suchness essence of the Tathagata in terms of its the portion of it, the empty portion of it, that is omnipresent throughout all of the different states, the state or occasion of a impure sentient being, the state or occasion of being an Arya, the state of the entirely pure state. So from the point of view of its nature or essential property, that empty portion of it is complete, is omnipresent, is always there.
인자 내가 타대봤음도 춤나 아니 찍니 임받고 찍니 군도 가기를 왜서나 어디 대가기 말이지 저와 내가 숨고 간도양 마다바다 다바다 아니 가르래서나 신도 남바타바 숨고 아니 관계값수 양 아니 가서래 랑신 똥바텔라 유아자네 매봐 저와 랑신이 똥베똥이 유아자자 매봐.
So that emptiness then, because it's omnipresent throughout all of those states, the state of an ordinary sentient being, a Arya, the extremely pure state, there's no difference as far as the nature of that emptiness throughout all of those states.
대체다 유아자님 어디래 너네다 다도 민주를 세대 태인바래
And because it doesn't change throughout any of those states, that emptiness does not, the suchness, the essence of the Tathagata, does not change at all throughout any of those three states. Therefore, it's said to be always unchanging. The eighth or ninth, I should say, ninth quality property.
다 되니 오라 따도 주와매 외화를 마도 내가 기타네 천육화란 그 오라 저거 말이 천육화란 그 오라 하신 동바들 주와 저거 말이데 자식이 님한테 대단테 님비 차위 또지 아니 천이 되라야 아니 가르로서나 천육화라야 타바다 마다바스 저거 마도 천이는 유아조하고 타바다 마다바 유한 줘야 돼 답이 천이다 마답이 천이다 신도남다 그 천이 세고 천이 그 뭐를 유한 매바체 팀에 다 저마테다 잡이 전에 아니 거라 천이 되라 두스 주와 좋아하는 말도 와
천이들
천이랑 신이다 왜라 제 답이 아니 디신이 되라 유와 자하는 매바 뭐를 유와 자하는 매바
뭐를 그러면 이니 라
정말 집지기 팀에 답이 차네 이러와
So then, in terms of its in terms of its nature, that suchness or that emptiness doesn't change in any way whatsoever throughout the three states of the pure state, the pure state, or the very pure state. That in its nature or its essence, it doesn't change in any way whatsoever. It's always unchanging. However, in terms of the degree to which it is purified, separated from some portion of the defilements, then one can differentiate it according to that.
다 연대 일매 봐서 타투비 연대당 아니 랑시지 팀에다가 이름해봐 세대 주인지라 다도 민주 연대 일반 예민이 전담민주 공전시 전담민주 공전시下세대 아니 컴 랑시지 여봐 땡라 파바기 아니 가소래 컴퓨터是吧 컴 대화 시위 님보 시송바기 아니 컴퓨 컴퓨터인데 아니 땡라 벽지 임바데 다 시와 치고래 스테인 말에
La dit c'est chez moi son. Dit que ça Yundin Yeme.
Yenden 到底民族原来也没吧，他都给原来当让心机，他把也没吧，是吧？
So then, in terms of the qualities of being undifferentiated, it's saying that that the ultimate good qualities of this are undifferentiated. Nikap sumkala tani.
他都给原来当德尔西比宁波的让心机，他被也没吧。
So then, in terms of the natural purity qualities, from that point of view, there's no differentiation within them. The ultimate, no final differentiation within the ultimate qualities. Terms of because of their being pure by naturally pure.
哦呀，这个现在给俺的长期过呢，那下那把教的嘛，多带你干了。现在咱那下你那把教的呢，学就干了。俺的我的多点的解释过那些，就多点的解释过那些都算过的。哎，只有多点解释过那些，把他人呢嘛都写过的。
No, so that's a basic summary of the identification of these 10 subjects, and that's just simply identifying them in terms of their general nature, and then this we go through the different subjects individually and give a more expanded explanation of the meaning of these in terms of the first in terms of the meaning of the nature and the cause, and then an explanation of the other ones.
但我昨天给点了，俺就看说的，人家那个出大心，大多让心你莫买，谁的个，俺的我昨天被出去单。 前面那边写了，他等着人家来说嘛，谁的个，你就到那边管的单个人吧的。
So then, where the verse says, like a jewel, like space, like water, the beginning of verse 30, that explains the nature of So then the first two lines of verse 30 where it says like a jewel, like space, like water, pure water, the nature is always without affliction. That refers to that briefly indicates the quality of the nature.
他当过学的嘞，是吧？我们说不是学一把，因为大家个我得了什么药啊？上节去吃过，俺哩提醒你，俺哩研究个是什么药啊？是什么药啊？我他去看都写去，是吧
We talked about those. We talked about those briefly, where we said that it has to do with the three things that there's the Dharmakaya, the Chukudeshin, and suchness, and then the lineage itself. So, as we said before, then the Dharmakaya is similar to, in sequence here, the Dharmakaya is like a jewel.
어티신이 난가단 자와.
And suchness is like space.
아니 가서래. 이렇게 아니 취다 취송바.
And then the lineage is like water.
다대 취송바 잖아요. 인자 다 가르래서나 가상야게 시원한 신천이大来全部都人家那个去大心谁干了？他가상야게人家那个去大心谁干了？那个让心了也大，你가서嘞，去让心了娘妈妈就把他，人家开着我，
人心了。
那个让心了也马就把，去让心了娘妈妈就把，让心了也马就把。
So we mentioned that. So then, as we said yesterday afternoon, that a jewel doesn't possess any kind of how to say that? It's like rust, but that's not right. Rust.
Yeah, said the cousin loves song.
Yeah. It's like tarnish, kind of like tarnish. But here referring to a jewel being covered with some kind of tarnish. And space isn't defiled, is not covered by clouds, and water is dirt.
중감 세당 단다 이거를 제가 그나 세당 나가신 타바신도 타바죠 인간 다가랑 장지가 감디가 뭐라 아니 치매래바 마슈바 인장 단다 디기 추구세대 추구대를 못 치단 자야지 추구코랑 감수 때만 많이 받체 추구를 때는 다선 공도시와 나신이지 아니 상제기 아니 이시지 틀에 초대 틀에 누지줄에 주로 인배 인장 아니 추구 아니 추구다 감변다 자와는 마도 추구코랑 간이 때만 말했어 당오시와 이봐 하고산 런친
이 감라
자고 감라 디신이라 자고 감대와 12년부터 감대와 12년부터 난가당 난기랑신라 정바마시와당 나가 정당제다 난기랑신라 정바마시와 세지랑신라 야마시와당 세지야당 제당 세지랑신라 야마시와 추랑신 추녀마당 제당 추랑신라 녀마마시와 와 마슈바 현상 아니 추녀마당 차롱 세야당 차롱 아니 가서래 나가 정당 차롱 인바 대신도 감대와 시위 인보 대당 아니 녀모마다 시진 지바 아니 차롱 인바대 감지트만 차롱 인바대 시작하래
린신라 셀스그루와 So here, instead of saying jewel, the first word there in verse 30, it says it means precious. And here we can actually gloss this as referring to gold. There's a commentary Gyaltsab Je wrote on the Madhyaga, differentiating the middle and the extremes, in which he glosses this. And there he says that just as gold is not, the nature of gold is not defiled by rust or by tarnish, and just as the nature of space is not covered or covered up by clouds, and just as water is not, the nature of water is not defiled by dirt, the same applies then to the element, which is the essence of the Tathagata. That it's not, although it is temporarily contaminated or contaminated by the adventitious defilements, its nature is not such that it's contaminated, so that it can be suitable to be for the defilements to be removed from it.
吧？最大多让心机没吧？让心机没吧？人上你们让心机原呢？俺那你们这都没用啊！让心机知道了，俺那看说的前些连送，前些连送没得吧？人上你们让心机知呢？你们这么多没用啊？你们这都没用啊？人上你们让心机他把当。看过来呀，让心机他把你我的，他把心都他把决赛这一把人，把人大多让心你们没事，或大多让心你们没事的，大多让心你们没事，
让心机通让心机通吧。
他们让心机他把的，让心机把做的，你们让心机他把的，你们让心机他把一张，俺那你们这种的。
So therefore, the next line says that the nature is always without affliction. That's referring to then is that the element, or the lineage here, is naturally pure. It's naturally pure of the defilements. The defilements themselves are also and the defilements are also naturally pure. They're naturally devoid of impurity. And the this is in their general characteristic, they're because they don't exist in essence. They don't exist by means of some kind of essence.
Oh yeah, come you more dortane. Tijela, any doing or dortan badella, chemela be share of the thing legit, thing de lechuma. Did I know board in Jenga? Any chew and that shouldn't know. Say I take it, that do you and then the sharing body.
So that gives a brief explanation, and we've after doing the simple identification of the nature of these 10 things, then there's a brief explanation of them, and so that covered the brief explanation then of the nature there, the first of the 10, and then the next one explains the cause portion, and it says that admiration for the Dharma, superior wisdom, and concentration arising from compassion.
Oh yeah. And you can't say that DJ, Chemela be shared at the condition is and any can't say that you make you are one again. That you should move out. Digi got this over there, and Sabin Madang Madang Mamadang Chesumbas Sabin Madang Madang Mamadang Chesumbas Segala Tibachimbi Chela maybe Mewadi any console. Newadi, answer the quality of our gay, Madame Chesumba. Quality of our Jenge Sabina Chesumba. So Tibachi is gay, Sabin Madame, Tibachi Chela, Mewadi, and you quality of our gay, Sabina Sumba is Sabin said the same body.
So then in terms of the cause here, this is said to have, is explained by means of 4 analogies, and which are held to have properties that are common to it in its aspect as a cause. Here they're listed as a seed, sabin, a mother, womb, and wet nurse. The seed refers to if one is going to give birth to a universal emperor, then the seed is the first.
대화 대 올라마지 제시가래 여다 연구하래 와 다든지 디나라 들이 송샤 인장 티조 라메 사벤 제시가라 티조 라메 사벤 티바초라 메위 메가디 콜리지 자오 제제기 마당 최송바 사벤나 최송바 인장 티조 라메 사벤 두스레.
So this will be explained in more detail below, but here it's saying that in giving the birth of a universal emperor, that the admiration for the Dharma is like admiration for the Dharma is like the seed and
자주세비 투지기 돈이 또비 셰랍지 초지 되와 되죠.
Then the higher wisdom, that is the wisdom which realizes emptiness within the continuum of a bodhisattva, that is like the mother.
아니 판이 탑라 케와이 많이 셔라 바로 칭 아니 가서래 막 아니 랑기 부대기 투모위죠. 파대랑그 투모마이 이와 판이 탑라 캐와이스 파 안에 가리라 게리라 아니 마 가르지 뒤나야 마 안에 가리서 아니 리시안 가르지 뒤와 이나야 아니 풀에 피자리만도 마기 촌내리라 도교와 말와 인상 마디 투모위 교체 투모와 이자 돈이 도비 셰럽지 티바스모 가롱기 투모위 교 인상 투모마이 비교 말에 돈이 되비 셰럽디 년들기 안에 타바 되니 그 로지다 드러나 아니 년들기 타바 토그래 티진기 타바 되니 그 로지 섬지다 드러나 티진기 타바 토그래 아니 란자라 테나시리 인상 마디 왕기 릭테란데 먼저와 이제 그 투모위 주로와 인상 돈이 되비 파디 마디 아니 릭한단 간제의 부대기 투모위 주제 파디 투모마이 비준하신 체니 어디 인자 딜레송고아레 투조 라메 사벤 셰랍당 상제 최지 사셰랍데 마 하고서
텍솔라비 셰랍
투조 라메제 메와데 사벤체 나 셰랍데 마다라와체.
So then, where it's explained that this higher wisdom is similar to a mother, there's a verse which says that the wisdom is like the mother, whereas the method is like the father. What this is explaining then is that in the case of a child, the class identity of the child or the caste identity of a child is determined by the father, whereas the mother is common for can be common for members of other classes as well. So, for example, if the father belongs to the aristocracy, then that will determine the class of the child. Whereas if the father belongs to the Brahmin class, then the child will be of the same mother, would be a member of that class, of the Brahmin class. And so, therefore, similar to that, the way the class of the father determines the child, whereas the mother is sort of the common parent of members of multiple, can be a common mother of members of multiple classes. So, therefore, in a similar way, this higher wisdom, which realizes emptiness, is the common mother or source for those who arise in three different lineages, whether they belong to three different lineages of the Shravaka, Pratyeka Buddha, or Bodhisattva lineage, because all of them develop the same kind of higher wisdom. Therefore, this wisdom is said to be like the mother of those who arise from all three lineages.
최면사탕 세체 그와 최면사비 셰럽데 마마다 충충바데체 마다 충충바데체 드니 가서 띵띵인제 내쇼마 세데 아니 띵띵기 고 타야바테 아니 나다 벽 ngada becho mai ngada chumbadela sanje chuje mata samdenda dewen ane sedi samden sedi dingedela kone dingedinji anoko 타야바 대다 아니 마이 ngada bechumba sanje chuje mata 지 ngada chechumba chewa 딩딩 고 타야바 드니 닌세데 산제 최제마다 삼대단 대위 안에 인제 마마젠 세가 다들라 도된 가서 딩지 인제 레총와 세가 인제데 아니 마마다 최송바 마마데 아니 가서래 나기 마마데 나기 아니 째네 아니 나말련 파도 아니 개체와 나신 인제 전부 태양 인제 전부도 토마 가체와다 파도 가체와다 타마 가체와 인바 인장 아니 인제 전부도 마마다 배전 자인 말이 아 그래서
마마 아지가 케네 되니 인제
인제 전부 배전 자와레스 부 마마디 아니 부등 안에 자와네 남말론 그 파도 개체보다 네 오테나시 인제 전부도 토마 자주 생각이 남라 토마 와다 파도 가셔와다 타마 가셔와 인장 라와 오마 주변에 가서 하나씩 간지진이 제외 로도 핀조티 사변단에 배다 주자 유린도 논제는 민바다고 되주바 서원하신 전이 통다 파순도 가셔와기 오마 주변에 최제 잡아 나신 전이 오다 저원인지 전부도 마마다 배된 자인 말
Then in the last line of verse 30 where it says meditative concentration, that's similar to the womb. The womb is here, the analogy has properties that are common to that of meditative concentration. And so the meditative concentration here refers to limitless kinds of meditative concentration that bodhisattvas develop on the path. And then the last one where it says compassion. Compassion is like a wet nurse. Once the baby comes out of the womb, then it has to be nourished by means of the wet nurse. And so that's analogous then to the way that compassion operates throughout all phases of the path. For the bodhisattva, from the beginning, in the beginning of the path, compassion is necessary, and in the middle of the path, it's necessary, and in the end of the path, it's also necessary. And this is expressed in a verse in the introduction to the middle way, the Umajupagi, Umajupa.
So
there's a verse in the introduction to the middle way that says that also.
Oh yeah, that你就开始有多点关的下巴的形象去，对这种全面那边写了的定制你这来穷啊，在的。
So then those two lines of verse 30, last two, the admiration for the Dharma, the higher wisdom, concentration, and compassion that it arises from those shows the cause, the nature, it gives a brief explanation of the cause.
Oh, did it? That Java said you can laugh, two days and do Minjudan, Lemming of your Rashinchi. Did I know both in Jangam, and the tree and then Churchun saw, said that Java said going about it.
Then the first two lines of verse 30 give a more expanded explanation of the nature there, where it's and they elaborate upon the qualities or the analogies that are given under the precious here gold, the space and water.
Oh yeah, then they can do some good. That is be chugu and it's some be ten tamjet. Jidan Dang, Jidan Len, Devi, I miss some be ten tamjet, and Rubber Chebi, and to some Badang, and Damba, Dembi said two down, said it indeed.
And the first one where it says power, This is referring to the power of the Dharmakaya, which has the ability to accomplish all of the aims of all beings. 랑신기 둔 투란담바.
대신시비 취주고 아니 직대랑 직대는 대비 아미 삼비 탐제 아니 루바기 아니 투삼지 메자바단 담바레스.
So it's saying that the Dharmakaya has the power to be able to accomplish all of the aims, which are all worldly objectives as well as all transcendental objectives, and that power is inconceivable.
근데 이 투삼지 메자바단 담바 인당 다 대신시비 취기 틀린 주룽기 아니 semjen ane tendra we tu samji meje wate tobi tudan temba.
So therefore the tobi tudan temba.
Tobi tudan temba.
Tudan temba.
semjen tamje ishi chigu chilu jurung yinzang. semjen tamje la ishi chigu chilu tire jurungi ane semjen tamje 아니 텐드라위 투체바제단데 가설이 투체바제인데 톱이 이제 투단 댐바 누와단 댐바 쓰기 전 그거를 다오나 투단 댐바 누와단 댐바
nobody 가사 심신라야
주룽기 누와단 댐바 아스라 여러 대신시비 추구대 안에 삼비튼 직된다 대비 안비 삼비튼 탐제 주바기 안에 투단다 바레스 대담바 인상 균전 디기 안에 추구 칠레 주룽기 다 semjen 탐제장 텐다위 투삼지 메자와데 댐비 투단담바 누와다 담바레
투단담바 누방 디 심칭기 공다 semjingi tu yor
말은 semjingi is 말이다
주그릉디 누바 디
칠레 주룽기 아니 투테 아래 투단 담바세 칠레 주룽기 누와단 담바 투데 토바 투가르 투삼지 메자 댄서와 투삼지 메자바데 가르 직된단 대비 삼비 탐제 두바디 투캬바제데레 그봐 대인상 투체바젠데 이래 된다와데 추구라 담바 인상 아니 이시시기 출래 주룽기 semjen라양 된다위 직된단 뒤에 삼비 탐제 루바기 투엄 누와테다 담바레 그럼니비 누와.
So therefore, because it has that power to be able to accomplish all worldly and transcendental aims, the Dharmakaya, that power is such that it's able to accomplish those aims for all sentient beings that have the ability to have the receptivity to the divine activities of the Dharmakaya. So it has that kind of power to be able to enter into the sentient beings that are receptive to that power.
어디 다 가설에 투당 현두민주당 세가나 안에 티신이 되는 하나 삼정규직 sem지 천이 티신이 돼 현두민주 위치를 세가나 저마다 제비 티신이장 랑신지 동비 아니 티신이래 현두 아니 넘버 민주와 넘버 현두 랑신 동비 넘버 차발래 현두 민주 랑신지 동비 넘버 발래 현두 랑신지 주위 넘버 랑신지 주위 줌나 양 줌아 제스면 하래 라 인장 현두 민주와 티신이 현두 민주 위치 저마다 제비 티신이장 티신이라 현두 주와 매바 인상 저마다 제비 티신이장 아니 랑시지 동비 레 현두 넘버 미샤와 인상 아니 가소래 민자비 치나 민자비 치리 다 저마 다루인 바디 당 아니 투단단 바디 뒤쪽에 굉장히 다도 민주 다 투단 현두 민주당
Well, so then where the second property there where it says that it doesn't change into something else, that's referring to the suchness which never changes into some other kind of property, into some other something else. So this is referring here to the emptiness, the lack of intrinsic existence or suchness. It's not such that it is such that even when it's in a state which is together with the adventitious defilements, that suchness or emptiness, a portion itself, never changes into existing by means of intrinsic existence. It doesn't change into some other kind of, from lack of intrinsic existence to existing with intrinsic existence. So it doesn't change into something else. So this, where we've explained here that it has that power and it doesn't transform into anything else. That's explaining up above in the beginning of verse 27 that that it's related to the statements up above where it says that the because of the emanation from the body of the perfect Buddha, and because because suchness is indivisible, this connects down to these two things that we've mentioned just now: the power, as well as the not transforming and not changing into something else.
Oh yeah, today let me know you are saying said ani yang dapat lawan la cumi rik saben job che yang dapat lawan la cumi rik said ta sami semji saben job che ani semjian la ani yin这位let me know you are saying bi che是吧
那yang
dapat lawan la cumi ju ge di yin ba sami semji saben
Sami
semji saben
yang dapat langwala yang dapat
langwala cumi rik
yang dapat langwala
cumi rik.
So then in the next line there where it says because of because of its nature of being the essence of moisture, this is referring then to the how it's similar to water in the analogies that are given up above, and this is referring to the aspect of the lineage, which is its developmental lineage, that form of the lineage, and referred to as arising from taking up that which is correct. Yang dapat langwala cumi rik ya.
Rite, ani rite saben job cena, saben job cena, ani ninji semjala ninji bi chi lembi, ninji ki wangi, ani gawa ki saben de shogo are esgore, ninji chi lembi ba.
This is explained as also being analogous to how a seed, when it's moistened with germinates, and so where it says that it has a moist nature, that's referring to that.
Oh yeah, ane ta teki karasana sumbu didagi sumbu digi ane tanda yage dodenga kasu sheki, wa dodenga kasu sheki chugudang kan chugu chile yurundang 아니 대신이 지자그 팀은 지자그 섬지 춘이다 정말 그 제베 섬지 춘이니 어디 올라라신지 이와 매바당 아니 최근에 주롱기 아니 研究个这的，俺那结完下吧，对是吧？结完下吧的，土当先都谁的，土当先是的，等到出个出来就是的结算啊，土当先都民主党谁的个，俺那直接个陈美你当直接个什么当陈美个什么样的，我也没把它写上啊。是吧？提醒你先读民主化印章，起码大家为什么你讲让信息东北那把来，那把先读没下话，是一个让信也没把它写上啊。
啊，讲到，that's
啊，呀，他不提来到呢。
So then the first one then is the power. 축구기.
담보디 뒤봐. 단다 가서 축구기 디시시비 축구기 삼비탄 탐자. 지대란 대위 아니 삼 축구기래 축구라 때네 지대란 대위 축구대 지대란 대위 삼비탄 탐자 주비 투단 담바레스.
So we just said above then as again that the power is referring to the Dharmakaya having the power to accomplish all worldly and transcendental wishes.
투단 담바 인장 안에 상제기 틀에 주롱기 semjen 탐제장 투태단 투대 토비 니밤 투단 담바레.
So, and therefore, the beings that are receptive to that kind of power possess the ability to receive that kind of influence. They have the ability to receive those divine activities.
조선군이 초지당 세대 개발해봐라,是吧? 뒤통다 세워봐라, 是吧? 다더니 가서 투당 현도 민주당 세대 아니 지당 대신이라 아니 현도 주어요 말했어. 민주화 대인자 민주화 매화 인자 처마다 제비 대신이 지sem이 순위 대장 랑시지 동비 남바 차와래 현도 남바 현 랑시지 주어가 남바 차요 말했어. 주어요 말했어.
So then the second one again is a more extensive explanation of the indivisibility of suchness, which is specifying that it doesn't change into something else, so that such even when it's conjoined with the adventitious defilements, doesn't, in terms of its nature of being the emptiness or lack of any intrinsic existence, it never changes from that state of suchness, of lack of intrinsic existence, into some other kind of state, regardless of the presence or absence of the adventitious defilements.
다 되어라 양다바 나와래 추위 삼매 심지 사변 통마 채나 아니 심전라 인제위 렘배 오유랑 신지 렘배 오유랑 신인바 인상 아니 렘배 오유랑 신치 So
then also then the seed of that the achievement of Sameki sabun di
Sameki sabun 통만 조비 채나 안닝지기 니지기 취련데 안에 삼백이 심지 sabun 조고 아래에서
So then the seed of accomplishing or having a mind which is free of contamination is then when that's planted, it has to be it is germinated by the moisture of compassion.
근데이나 디시시비 감대와시비라 상하란주시 셈지 춘이 되라 감대와시비 님보 되라 추기 칠에 주run기 차네 설단 배자와 랑경오라 아니 랑시지 tremel레바 마슈비 차네 아니 가서래 대트 가서 난가다 배제 잡아 난게랑시라 정마쇼 나 난가다 배제 잡아 연구기를 대라 아니 가서 내가 제 가서래 3일 천일이 띵도 3일 심지 사변 재화인자 전주기 이렇게 전주기 이렇게 통만 조비 차나 인지 취 렘바 인장 아니 취냐니 냐마 마쇼와다 저거 배자야 돼 대단히 부진정감 아니 취연단 취취노 도시메
이 건가 마소 이
원 맞다나
So then those three analogies where you have the precious gold, which is free of any kind of tarnish, the space free of clouds, water free of any kind of defilements. These are used as analogies for the three qualities of the Tathagata Garbha, such that its ability to its receptivity to the divine activities, which are the power of the Dharmakaya, makes it similar to a wish-granting jewel or gold which is free of any kind of impurity. And then it's suchness is like space, because it's indivisible and doesn't change into anything. It never changes its nature from that. And then it's the element or essence of the Tathagata is like water, because the Chudandra because in the nature of water, the dirt or the contaminants don't enter into the actual nature of the water. They're not part of that nature.
Oh yeah, that digi come day and then what you going to jaw shapati, the Yabachimba Tarva, that dilla the ma there to castle, take castle, they said there to do thing on my shooting.
So that's explaining the differentiation of the three aspects of the element, the essence of the Tathagata, by means of its nature, and in a brief explanation of them, and then to give a somewhat more elaborated explanation of this follows.
Demba said, "Ani David Gazu Bada, Natashuana, some between Jidan and Jidan, Debbie, Lezo Tamja Drubala, so Drubala, Sobas, Jidan and Jidan, and Debbie, Lezo Tamja Druba."
So we said that the essence of the Tathagata, in terms of its receptivity to the divine activities emanated from the Dharmakaya, and the power of the Dharmakaya being able to enter into it, that's explained in again how it is that it's able to bring about the power of the Dharmakaya is able to actualize all of the wishes, to fulfill the wishes of all worldly and transcendental aims.
Denida, Shendu Minjuwa, Stajunga, Jessa Shudan Shusande, Tishini, Yujenji Shendu Minjuwa, race. What Yujenji Chebajugo Marawa, what do much.
So then, in terms of it's not changing into something else, this is saying that suchness is not, it doesn't change by means of causes and conditions, because it's a non-compounded or non-constructed thing.
Oh, Yujenji Shendu Minjuwa Yinayang, Duma Cheji Nanga Singade, Ane Tobe Rija, Gaja Tobe Rija, Amba Chezamla, Nanga Shaba Tishindu.
So just as space, which is also non-compounded or unconstructed, is not is established simply by the elimination of obstruction, by differentiating it from things which which are obstructive.
Oh, Nanga, Gaja Tobi, but number Jazam Tele, and a Shendu Shadu Meba.
So apart from the simple negation of those things which are to be negated, that is, in the case of space obstructions, there's no other way to establish space. Similarly, just like that, suchness is simply a mere negation, which is the absence of any kind of conceptual elaboration, and it's only established through the elimination of that thing to be negated, that is the conceptual elaborations. So then that explains then those first two properties of the power and not changing into something else. And then in terms of it having the nature of having a moist nature, this is referring then to how compassion and through the proper taking up of the proper methods that So then, just you can say that on top of that naturally existing suchness, which is the naturally existing lineage. On top of that, you can say is, or based upon that, is then the transformative lineage, or the lineage which gives developmental lineage, which gives rise to the development of the person there. So that aspect then is analogous to water, in that when compassion infuses into the person, then it causes that aspect of the lineage to develop and to evolve. So here you have to differentiate between the naturally existing lineage, which is not constructed or not compounded, as opposed to the developmental lineage, which is a product or construct. Well, what page are we on? 168? Oh. Simchen Tamjila.
Oh. Simchen Tamjila, Simchen Rila Mine, Ani Dungata Chow, so Jimoni with Simchen Suya Yomari, Simchen Kandichi Naya, Simchen Rila Mine, Ani Dungata Chow, 아니 차와 대비 저와 잼면용 밖에 심지어 수양요 말해.
So it says here, if you look at all sentient beings, there's each of them individually. There's no sentient being at all that hasn't experience of giving rise to compassion, which is the wish for others to be free from suffering. So therefore, because of that, there's all sentient beings have already established as having sewa kiwi yudu. Sewa kiwi.
제가 기위 유도 인지 제 유도 섬전 탐제 안에 엄마네 송신 바래 와
so 지 서버시마소 제가 기위 유도양 섬전 탐제 안에
송신 바래 네 섬전라 제와래 가르레스나 섬전 랑비 제와라야 탐해봐 랑기 섬전기 마차와라야 탐해봐 섬전 탐제기 랑기 마차와라야 탐해봐 와 랑기 섬전 탐제기 마치디 강래가라 아니 마치디 강라 섬전 레레 그 마치기가 랑기 아니 풀레체비 저와레레레 기가라와
So therefore it's the case that all sentient beings have formally already had compassion towards all other sentient beings. The reason for this is that sentient beings have been born limitlessly in numberless different kinds of existence, and therefore they have had every kind of relationship with all other sentient beings, including such things as being a mother which loved another sentient being as her only child. So
What give up Boyansi, Rana, Mina, Zawaki, Rana, maybe, and Niti Jinglen de la Yang, and Semja Tamja, Chursimbares. Kansana, Semja Tamja, Rangi, Mama Sheva, Chijam, Meba, Yenzang, Rangi, Machidikana, Rana, Ninji, Rana, Zawari, Majeba Mezang, and it's Zawaki Boyan, Semja Tamja, Chursimbe.
And then, and because of that, also, you have to say that those who have rise to that kind of love and compassion, that all sentient beings are been established as that. All other sentient beings have already been established as having and love towards oneself.
Rangi Jawala Toma Meba Yizang, Jawala Toma Meba Yizang, Ani Jawaji Lake Sijela, Ani Zuje Madobagi, Ani Jene Shen, Maje Gonje, Tunzokanga, Mala. Is a Mama Java Java Jia Meba Yizang, Rava. Is a Semje Rangi Mama Java Jia Meba Yizang, Ram Rere Rangi much heavy Tuesday Jimmy, and it's a what you are, Zawaki watching. Semje.
So each sentient being has acted as a friend for one. That kind of love that developed at that time can't be destroyed by some kind of opponent factor such as anger and so forth. Each sentient being has acted as our mother. So each of the sentient beings during that time had love towards us. And that, so that love that they felt towards us couldn't be destroyed by. So the so if that love or compassion is not separated from so if that compassion isn't separated, when it's not separated from habituation, from the cooperative condition of being habituated to it. Oh, so if it's not separated from the cooperative condition for giving rise to it, that is habituation to it, the method which gives rise, which causes it to increase more and more.
출신배 semje rangni chibitu ni chebitu ani zebi zewati gaji shedan ge majom badang tunje ani niju khombagi ani tabda ma ani semje 탐제라 미네 동아다 찬되지 나바jenji ani lo juanga juwa jongore.
So then if it's not destroyed by so forth, that kind of a love, which is destroyed by anger, which is the opponent condition, and if it's not separate from the habituation to it, which is that is continued, repeated conditioning of oneself to it through cultivation, which is the cooperative condition, then it's possible to transform the mind into having an aspect which is the desire to free all sentient beings from first seeing all sentient beings, and then by seeing them, then wishing that they should be free from suffering, developing a mind like that, which has that kind of aspect.
Samje 탐제라 민나 동아단 찬데 남바 젠지 로르 주아레 로르 주조그레스 된다비 로데 닝지 전부 유아 이나양 단단 아니 가 튕제 마상시 아게 마좀 바 인베 저와 점레 마도 닝지 전부 마레 와 튕제 셰당 마좀 가지 튕 가지 가지 셰당 마좀 튕 콤바 코네 마베 바 인장 아니 닝지 전부 마레 닝지 점레 시고레.
So that kind of compassion, ninji chimbo yuwa yina, tunki ma tsangshi.
Oh, deda, ninji chimbo yuwa yina yang, yuwa re di nyinbo chimbo chua ma re si. right? Nibo chum ni chum yura maung bekajarawa.
So then that kind of mind is such that it can be great compassion. That mind which sentient beings and desires to free them from their suffering. It has the possibility of becoming great compassion. If it's so even if it so even so it's that kind of mind then has the possibility of becoming great compassion. However, if the cooperative conditions for it are not complete, and if it's destroyed by opponent factors, opposing conditions, then it's mere love, but you would not call that great compassion.
다 텐더위 니지 첨부 유어는 니비 자와 대삼자 탄제라 미비 동아다 단도기 자와 태양 니지 첨부 깨와 그 유잠식 치그래.
So therefore that kind of love for which observes all beings and wishes them to be free from their suffering, that kind of love is the mere cause of great compassion.
니를 안에 단다디 연구를 때 가르치라 해서는 니니 담비치 퇴위 겐지 샤비 퇴섬 담비치 퇴섬 채와라 때네 아니 겐지 샤비 아니 사바메비레 사메지 아니 치 이제 개와 사바메비 아니 셈 깨지기 사비 양다바라 랑와라 주비 릭시에 차
So therefore here, this developmental lineage is what's being referred to here as the developmental lineage, or lineage the way we develop and evolve, is to as the lineage which called the lineage which arises from properly taking up that which or taking up that which is proper, and it's also referred to as the seed of the uncontaminated seed, which is which is established by the condition of listening to the holy Dharma.
Oh yeah. 대점도 세번 말에 양다발랑와 주비 세대 당한들 소체대 삼 아니 가르래 삼메sem지 사변 어텔라 소체샤고 말에 대점도 세번 말에 닝지 자주심비 주지 닝지 첨보라 소와 양 안에다 대신 산제 육구 주run기 되제 이르 인장 된소야 안에 샤쇼그래 손은
대점도 세번 인디
자 말해서 담보대서 삼매성지 사변 대점도 사 말해 삼매성지 사변데 뒤 가세 담인 뒤제래 말해
that kind of compassion which has been expressed stated as the seed, that which is uncontaminated, or the developmental lineage, that alone would not be rather it also has to be understood as the great compassion of the bodhisattvas and so forth be applied here as well.
Oh yeah, that has you sure 되게 다도랑신이 몸에 세 되게 지 천인디 탐제지 다도랑신이 신도 녀라 녀모 봐 매바세 봐 매바 아니 녀모랑신지 마주칭 나 가르래서나 녀몽기 진당라 녀몽기 진당 내루다 tumba 마슈바 니몽 진단데 내루다 처랑랑게 내루다 tumba 마슈바 아니 로바슈와是吧 내가 간사기 당진 니몽 간사기 당진기 진단데 아니 내루다 tumba 마슈바 간진기 진단데 처랑기 내루데 라시지 마주병 원내요와 라시지 마주병 원내와 텔라 로소 라시지 추와 진바르와 인상 내루다 tumba 마슈바다 라시지 용서 답이 시소
So in terms of its general characteristic, it says here in all situations, always it's naturally without completely without any affliction. Because this is referring to the afflictions being by their own intrinsic nature.
So
the way we act these things as by their own intrinsic identity or intrinsic existence, that kind of way of grasping at things is contrary to the way things actually exist. It doesn't act or operate in accordance with the way things actually are. This is referring then to the fact that things are all naturally empty, naturally given existence, whereas this mode of apprehension of them grasps at them as being contrary to that or the opposite of that, as if they were existing by essence or by some intrinsic existence. And that fact that the mode of apprehension which grasps at things as being real or intrinsically existent doesn't and because that's that doesn't operate way of grasping at things as existing by their own intrinsic existence. Intrinsic existence doesn't operate in accordance with the way things actually are, or said to be naturally completely pure. We'll stop there.
Uttaratantra